made them slave. When we say slave, we see, slave, it's basically a foreigners. That is a slave. Jesus is giving us the definitions on what it means to be a slave. What is a slave? You're in your house. There is someone is working in your house. Is a slave. Is a foreigners. Most of foreigners, they're the ones we call slave. If you're foreigners, you're a slave. That is a proper meaning, because a slave, he doesn't have a proper, a basic, you know, privilege in the house. They will tell a foreigners, don't touch this one. It is for the people of the house. There is a cup, there is a pot. You see that toilet, because you are not from our family. You have to bath there. Don't bath in our toilet. Even to brush teeth, to brush the teeth. You see that side. You can brush your teeth that side, not here. If you want to sleep, don't sleep there. This is for my children, for my husband. That one is for my wife. So a foreigner is a slave which has got a limit. It doesn't have a proper privilege. There are certain things he has to do, certain things he cannot do it. It's based in the institutions of the house. Each and every houses, there is institutions. Jesus is giving us a proper definitions of a slave. Whose slave to Jesus? Jesus is giving us the meaning of a slave. The book of John chapter 8, verse 35. John chapter 8, verse 35. John chapter 8, verse 35. It says, slave is not a permanent member of the family, but a son is part of the family forever. You can see a slave is a foreigner, which is a person who's there, like bypass. You just pass it. A foreigner is a passenger. He just come to go, come to pass. They are not permanently to dwell there. A citizen, they're the ones we call permanent. To understand what is the meaning of a foreigners, they are unnatural. They're not natural. Something is natural, it means it must be there. Something is natural, it has to be there. Natural. It's something you used to eat. You know it. That is natural. Something's natural. It must stay there. Just normal to be there. Sometimes you can use this word naturalizations. Naturalizations. A foreigner is not naturalizations, but a citizen is permanent. A foreigner cannot have all the benefit of the people that they are staying in their house. It is biblical. It says you are slave to do what they tell you to do. You know, a foreigner is a person, you know, is not prepared prepared to be there. They are not prepared. They are not choose to be there. They just come by any chance. They just pass. I want to be there. But a citizen is natural. Each and every place you will see citizen. They are there. It is their place. It's like one of the way I hope it says what is something which you did not prepare is sweet. You understand? Something you did not prepare, it's sweet. But something you prepare is always not sweet. There's a food you're cooking, you just buy, but it was not like in your mind. You just buy your cooking, or hoping the way you're cooking is not gonna be delicious. But you cook, you'll be saying, hey, I was not expecting this food, it can be tasting delicious. I just buy, I hope it will taste just bad, but it's tasting delicate. I like it. Something it is unprepared is sweet. A foreigners, they are not prepared to be in that land because it doesn't belong to them. It doesn't belong to them. They just to pass. But now a foreigner, you are not there to claim what is not yours. In a foreign land, you cannot say, this is mine, which is not yours. You are just, you are not, this is not your place. This is my table. This is my businesses. This is my shop. So you are staying out there. That is not your place. Just move. Which means they are not prepared to be there. When you read the book of Proverbs, the book of Proverbs, chapter 9, verse 17, the book of Proverbs, chapter 9, verse 17, the book of Proverbs, chapter 9, verse 17, it says, stolen water is refreshing. Food eaten in secret tastes the best. A foreigner's is sweet. A foreigners, they are there to modernize, to make it nice. They are passengers, but they can leave you with a taste. I like that guy. I like that woman. He's not staying here. He was just passing. But what he said to me is nice. Who is this guy? And if you do not get their contact number, you won't find them. They just go. He say what is stolen is always sweet. That is the foreigners. He say food eaten in the secret tastes the best. That is the meaning of the foreigners. Can you share Proverbs chapter 20, verse 17? Proverbs chapter 20, verse 17. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 17. It says, stolen bread tastes sweet, but it tends to gravel in the mouth. Something stolen is nice, but it's always turned bad also. Basically, the citizen, they prepare to be there, not foreigners. Let's say you want yourself to be sweet, you want yourself to look delicate, to look fabulous, to look nice, you have to connect with foreigners to be sweet. You will be yourself. I don't used to this, but it's nice, eh? Where do you come from? Ah, this is nice. That is how foreigner is. They are sweet. They come to leave a taste to you, which you'll be, wow, I've never eaten this. Eh? Food is nice, eh? But they are passenger. They are passengers. The Israelite became a slave, which is, 40 years, which is 400 years. Understand? 400 years. Let's say it is more or less 398. You understand? 398, 399. Because God is not a liar. What God is speak is always accomplished. God is not a liar. When you read the book of Genesis, Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. Genesis chapter 15, verse 13. You'll see God is speaking there. He said to Abraham, in a year, in this number, 4,000, which is 400, 400 years, I'll take them out. So when they made them slave, it was 300 and 300 and, you know, we can say they become slave, but it's just close to know they're about to be delivered. When you read the book of, remember, they were not slave, they were just living in ambience. But now it's just to be 400 so that they will come out. The baby in the stomach is moving by 37 weeks. The baby is moving in the stomach by 36, 38. The baby is moving. You'll be now feeling a labor pain. Hey, anything, it's becoming worse. It is the meaning to get to be done. Any problem is taking, weeks. It's getting worse. You must know that it's getting to an end to be done. Genesis chapter 15, verse 15, the book of Genesis. Genesis chapter 15 and verse 13. And then the Lord said to Abraham, you can be sure that your descendant will be stranger in a foreign land, where they will be oppressed as slave for 400 years. 400 years. 400 years. Which means they have to come out from the 400 years, which means the prophecy is just to be accomplished. In the year 400, they have to come out. No matter the year, they stay in there. But now in the 400, let them come out. That is the number of Exodus. It says again, they have done 40. Sister Susanna, how many years the Israelites they have done in the desert? Sister Lorraine, Sister Russian, how many years the Israelites they have done in the desert? Mr. Marco, Miss Salaki, Sister Bella, Sister Stefina, Sister Lillian, Sister Rhoda, how many years they have done in the desert, the Israelites, for them to inherit the land which flow milk and honey. How many years it took them in the desert? You know, God works mysteriously. It needed them to read for 40 years, 40 years to come out from the land of desert. When you read the book of Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 2, the book of Deuteronomy